by 100% run up higher, right? Then stocks will again double. Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So on today's video, I'm going to help you understand the following points. Number one, why is it that I will be investing less in India in the year 2025? I feel that the Indian stock market is going to go through a consolidation phase. I'll help you understand with logic data. Number two, I'll help you understand macroeconomic bets. So I will share a lot of macro data with you कि अगर आप इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, I will also invest. It's not as if I'll not invest, but I'll invest less. And there I will explain you that what are some good bets, bad bets to make, right? And why I feel that. I will back it up with data. And third and finally, which is a better market to go to. So if you watch this entire video, even if you are a new beginner, even if you have existing holding in the markets, this video is going to give you an impartial, practical type of an understanding of whatever is happening in the markets right now. So let's begin. And first and foremost, why do I feel that Indian markets is going to consolidate? So consolidation का मतलब क्या होता है? सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको ये बता दूं, right? And then I will show you some history, right? So ये history देखते हैं हम 2018 से, so from 2018, okay? So number one point is that meaning of consolidation is that the market goes like this, okay? So it consolidates in a range. So this is one way or one pattern of consolidation. Another might be that it goes this, right? So this again is a consolidation. ऐसा कोई खास बड़ा नहीं है इसमें market, right? So this could be considered as a consolidation. In simple words, ये इस तरीके की range बन जाती है and the market stays range bound, okay? So this is the meaning of consolidation. Now, if we draw these consolidation periods in the last 4-5 years, what you would notice is, तो बनाना शुरू करते हैं. तो ये रहा आपका 2018. This consolidation went on for almost 2 years. Okay, ये एक और consolidation period रहा. ये कितना चला? From 2022 to almost 2023 के mid तक, right? So this was a 1.5 years consolidation. अभी वाला अगर आप देखो तो ये रहा और ये रहा, राइट? सो 2024 में शुरू हुआ था स्टार्टिंग में ऑलमोस्ट, एंड अभी एंडिंग हो चुकी है ऑलमोस्ट 2024 की. तो ये ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 11 मंथ्स के आसपास का कंसोलिडेशन हो चुका है. ओके, नाउ इफ़ यू गो बैक, राइट, एंड आप थोड़ा सा और एनालिसिस करो तो आपको ऐसे बहुत सारे और कंसोलिडेशन पीरियड्स मिलेंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल दिस, राइट, 2018 टू ऑलमोस्ट 2020. फिर आप जाओ, फिर आप ये देखो, सो दिस वाज 2012 टू 2013-14 तक ये चला था, 2 साल, राइट? सो ऑन एन एवरेज अगर आप इसकी एज निकालो, एज ऑफ कंसोलिडेशन, ओके, सो ये रफली निकल के आती है बिटवीन लाइक 1 to 2 years, ओके, डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ यू आर एग्जैक्टली कंप्यूटिंग इट. बट द पॉइंट टू बी नोटेड इज वेरी सिंपल, दैट सी 1-2 years ऑफ कंसोलिडेशन. कंसोलिडेशन का मतलब कि कोई खास रिटर्न नहीं बना है, ऐसा ऐसा घूम रहा है मार्केट. नाउ दिस इज वेरी कॉमन, राइट? नाउ people who have joined the stock market from 2020, अब आपके लिए थोड़ी disappointing news है, because we have seen market give very good return almost every single year, right? You might not have seen a major drawdown on your portfolio. And now if I'm saying consolidation, आप video dislike करके आगे भाग जाओगे, right? So and you will not even watch the video. But that's how you lose money, and unfortunately most retail investors lose money. So please watch this video carefully, what I'm about to say next. So now the data that you need to understand is, and I'll show you 3 pictures. This is picture number 1, right? And it explains total assets of central bank, and this has to do with India, okay? And आप 2020 पे जाओ, so what was the total balance sheet size? It was 20,000 crores, okay? And this has gone up, now this is almost 2023 data hai, so this has gone to 40,000, okay? So within a period of roughly 3.5 years, our balance sheet size has gone up twice, right? So what does this mean? This means that additional money has been printed, okay? Or in a very simple words, I'm explaining you that a lot of new money has come into the market. Where does this money come from? Well, from government printers, okay? A very simple way of understanding this is कि यार ये Indian economy रही, इसमें in 2020 that 20,000 crore rupee you are floating. Now how much money is floating? Well, now 40,000 crore is floating, right? So this is the meaning of this chart. Now this is a very important chart. Now why is it a very important chart? Because आप खुद logic लगा के देखो कि see, if the total money supply or the total money that is floating in the market has doubled, what will happen to the stock price? Well, the stock price will also double. It's very simple. Now comes a more pertinent question कि ये तो 2025 शुरू हो गया है, okay? Now till 2028, do you see this again going from like 40,000 to 80,000? Okay, this is a golden question to ask. दुनिया भर की बातें होती रहती हैं, राइट? कि यू नो व्हाट, ओके, यू नो ये HDFC बढ़ जाएगा, फलाना ढिंगा बढ़ जाएगा, या इस स्टॉक ने अच्छे रिजल्ट्स पोस्ट कर दिए. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस गोल्डन लाइन, liquidity creates fundamentals, okay? It's not the other way around, that fundamentals create liquidity. What is the meaning of that? Meaning is कि if the money supply goes from 40,000 to 80,000 crore, इस एग्जाम्पल में, then stocks will again double. But the problem here is that right now we have to repay a lot of debt, okay? Lot of debt has to be repaid, And this is a major problem. This is part A or problem 1. Problem number 2 is we are witnessing very high food inflation in India. So therefore, अगर print करके और डाल दिया पैसा तो क्या होगा, right? Then it will be a problem because this food inflation will again further go up and it will create issues. So in the short term, it's very unlikely, or when we say short term, anything less than 1 year, that any excess money printing will happen. And this becomes a slight problem for the stock market. So this is problem number 1, or the central problem that you need to understand before pouring in crazy amount of money. This is the reason why big funds like Parag Parikh, etc. are sitting on huge amount of liquidity. Unki alag problems hai, right? I mean, unke liye to, because they are, if they pick stock X, whichever stock that is, they have to put a lot of money behind it. So unko, they need like things at massive discount. They can't do it, but we don't have that problem. How to tackle that? Which stocks specifically? I will explain that further in the video, but I hope this chart one is clear. Okay. So then comes that, okay, fine. Then if we just have to understand the valuation, right, of the Indian market, where we are we in the overvalued, undervalued, okay valued zone? So इसके लिए Warren Buffett ratio होता है, right, which explains, and this has been modified for asset printing, and this explains TMC or total market cap as a percentage of GDP plus total asset of central bank. And यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि अभी हम कहाँ पे, we are here. Okay, so this is definitely not undervalued for sure. This is also at best fairly valued, right? At best, this is the best case scenario. Okay, and most likely we are in an overvalued zone. Okay, so हम कहीं यहाँ पे इस zone में, right? And this is a very, very important point for you to understand, and I'll just flash this picture here. This analysis has been run by a few analysts, and this is the verdict that they have reached. Now, this is my verdict also, that I also feel that we are somewhere in fairly valued to overvalued zone in the Indian market. We are definitely not in an undervalued market. Now, what does this mean? कि सब कुछ बेच बाज के निकल जाए, you know, सब प्रलय आने वाली है? No, nothing like that. Basically, it means that, see, right now a realistic expectation of the market is 12 to 13%. अगर आप long term के लिए for a period of 2 to 3 years, if you go and deposit your money or invest your money in instruments like Nifty 50, this is the return that you can typically aim. Okay, so this is the right way to look at it. This has been the last 20-year CAGR. Now the problem is that, see, even to get this return of 12-13%, you need to look at two factors. Number one is that, is this your post-tax return, right? And number two question is that, hey, will I even get this return 12-13%, right? If not, then which is like a better market I can explore? So let me answer these 2-3 questions very quickly. Number one point is that, is this your post-tax return? No. Okay, because over the next 2-3 years, it is very likely that even the capital gains tax is going to rise. In fact, I feel that people might disagree with me, but I get a sense that the capital gains on equities will rise again, either in this budget or the budget after that. Okay, so please expect like a 15% here. Okay, वो क्यों, उसका भी मैं आपको भी आंसर बताऊंगा. So this is unlikely to happen. ये तो आपका जनरल होता था, अभी भी होगा 12-13%, but after tax इतना होगा वो थोड़ा सा और कम हो जाएगा. Okay, so this is one. Second is that this 12-13% is also made like on a 3-year basis. Okay, so 3-year basis. So इसमें भी there are years when exceptional gains are made, so we can call them like, you know, somewhat overvalued years, so to say. For example, last year was very good for the stock market, right? Small cap by 100% run up higher, right? So again, if you're a serious investor, I'll give you a pitch that please join my member community. Feedback has been exceptional. You learn things from scratch. You develop confidence. So if you are someone who is deploying a lot of money, then definitely do consider checking the member community out. Feedback has been exceptional. You can read some of the comments here. So anyways, coming back to topic. So last year has been great. अभी 1 साल से कंसोलिडेशन चल रहा है, एवरेज कंसोलिडेशन 2 साल होता है. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज लाइकली टू हैपन? सो एटलीस्ट लाइक नेक्स्ट ईयर तक तो ऐसा कोई बहुत धमाके नहीं होने वाले. दैट इज माई अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ इट. सो एक्सपेक्टिंग इवन दिस 12-13% CAGR, व्हाट इज लाइकली सिनारियो माइट बी कि अभी 1 साल और डांस करेगा मार्केट, कुछ खास नहीं देगा, 5-6% रन अप दे देगा, एंड देन सडनली इन ईयर 2-3 यू माइट सी सम वेरी गुड गेन्स लाइक 20% और समथिंग, राइट? सो दिस इज अ मोर लाइकली सिनारियो. ओके, सो एक्जैक्टली ऐसा पाथ प्ले आउट करे नहीं, दिस इज एन अप्रॉक्सीमेशन. सो आई एम जस्ट हेल्पिंग यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. नाउ यूल से कि अच्छा, व्हाई आर यू becoming like little bit bearish, हमारा तो इतने पैसे लग गए and all that stuff. See guys, I mean, you have to invest in a balanced format, and you always need to judge the current scenario of the market in context of the fundamentals of the economy. Right now, one major problem that India is facing is called as the stagflation problem. Now, what is the meaning of stagflation? इसमें दो components होते हैं. The first component is stagnation. Stagnation of what? Stagnation of our GDP. So India was expected to grow at roughly around 6.5-7%. Okay, इतने की भी estimate दिए हुए थे. But the results came out. We grew at 5.4%. Here's a post that I had done. In case you want to pause the video, read it. It will give you more insights of what this differential of 1.5% means. It will open up your mind to new things. Okay, so this is problem one, stagnation. Okay, the second problem is inflation. So our economy right now is in a situation where there is stagnation of the economy, and also the cost of living is going up, which is inflation. Now, worst part is that this inflation is happening in terms of food prices. So, for example, the rural demand has been muted, all that stuff. Now, food prices में क्या होता है? Because होता क्या है कि majority of the people in India live hand to mouth. Hand to mouth का मतलब कि यार जाते हैं, काम करते हैं, right? And then whatever money they make, they spend it that day in order to buy food mostly, right? So this is a problem when food inflation goes up. Now, solving this issue is the priority of the government. Now the problem or the fundamental problem in the Indian economy has been that इतना फालतू का पैसा वेस्ट किया गया है that now the fissures are being seen. That when I used to post about कि यार स्टैचू नहीं बननी चाहिए, वो सब नहीं होना चाहिए, मजाक बनाते थे लोग कि नहीं यार ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. But see guys, I mean honestly I don't want to stir any political debate, but honestly like politics impacts finance, finance impacts your taxation, and taxation impacts your life. So this is how the entire thing plays out. If our government is wasting money on useless things, eventually we will have to pick up the tab of taxation. So this is the basic bottom line. Again, going back to the central concept of stagflation, two things there. Stagflation means stagnation of the economy, GDP growing very slowly. This is happening, yes, verified by the latest results. And inflation happening in the economy, again, yes, this is again happening. Now, why is the second part, how am I sure that this is happening? Because recently the RBI decided not to cut the interest rates. Now, all other parts of the world are cutting the interest rate, but RBI decided not to. Why? Because they understand कि इससे food inflation बढ़ेगा, इसलिए काटो मत rates, okay? So this is precisely what is happening, and it is creating a lot of issues in our economy. We are not realizing the gravity of it, but this is where we are, unfortunately, and ये धीरे-धीरे पत्ते खुलते हैं, right? And this has started to happen already. So now understanding this cycle is also very important. That usually होता है क्या है कि whenever the interest rate gets cut, now we will see improvement in corporate profits. अभी जो corporate profits की जो peaking होनी थी, peaking मतलब कि जो बढ़िया corporate profits post करने थे वो कर चुकी कंपनियां last साल, okay? Now they are stagnating, and this is something that you can check from the balance sheet of HDFCs and all that stuff, okay? So अब stagnation आ रहा है थोड़ा-थोड़ा. Now, whenever interest rate cuts, then corporate profits will again rise after 1 to 2 quarters. Then inflation will again go up. Then उसके बाद फिर से interest rate बढ़ा देंगे. So this cycle keeps on repeating. But in order to balance this cycle, what is required? Well, jobs. Okay, because this cycle only works when people are getting employment. If people are not getting employment, then it's a problem. That how will corporate profits increase despite interest rates getting cut? Because no one is the counter buyer. So right now we are having a consumption problem in India, right? That we are unable to consume, not because we don't want to, but because of the fact that people are left with no discretionary income. इतने टैक्स बढ़ा दिया, बाकी सब दुनिया भर की चीज़ें. So basically two imminent changes need to happen, right? To be honest, one is that taxes need to go down. I don't know if this will happen or not, and especially इसमें indirect tax अगर कम हो जाए, so उससे एक तरीके की growth मिलेगी, and that will be very good for the stock market and corporate profits. And second key point is that we need new jobs in the economy. Now, ideally, because the government had borrowed so much money, जो मैंने आपको पहले चार्ट दिखाया था, those jobs should have been created by now, but all that money is gone in corruption or whatever, right? So anyways, those jobs are not here, and now we will pay the price. So that's the unfortunate reality. But changing these two things is very, very critical, and I really hope that some action has already been taken. But this is the fundamental issue with our economy. बहुत सारी और भी चीजें हैं which we'll not get into, but this is the core problem. If this gets solved, then it will start reflecting positive. So then comes the next question that Akshat, आप तो डरा रहे हो, right? कि I mean stock market खत्म हो जाएगा. No, खत्म नहीं होगा, right? I mean what I'm simply saying is that the market will grow at an average of 12-13% CAGR next couple of years. So that's my analysis of it. Anytime this number is not getting hit, we will see an interest rate cut and it will be brought to that level, right? And wo thode time mein inflation problem hogi or whatever, right? And we'll have to deal with it. There is nothing that we can do, but maintaining the growth mandate in the market at least seems to be the mantra of the current government, and they will not give it up, right? So this is my understanding of it. So ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके खत्म हो जाएंगे 12-13%, you will still make 12-13%. Now comes the next logical question that, okay, is this 12-13% good or bad? Why are you saying that you will invest in the US stocks? See guys, this brings us to the problem of INR depreciation. I've already made videos on it. You can go and check this video out. This will give you more understanding. But very quick summary there is that INR on an average is falling somewhere around 4% a year compared to dirhams, compared to US dollar. This is a fairly significant fall. I'll give you two options. Option A is that you make 8% returns, pay zero tax, and INR does not fall, versus make 12% in the Indian stock market. Which one will you pick? Well, you should take 8%. Why? Because 4% differential तो depreciation से आ गया, उसके ऊपर taxation वगैरह वगैरह चीजें. So to cut the long story short, INR depreciation is a major issue, and INR is getting weakened compared to US dollar. So this is the equation that you need to remember. US dollars buying power is going down, but INR's buying power in comparison to US dollar goes down by roughly 4% a year. Now this is a major headache, and this can be captured with this chart here. So this is the 5-year return of SPX, which is S&P 500 compared to Nifty. Okay, आप देखोगे कि निफ्टी ने 107% रन अप दिया है और SPX ने 91% दिया है. आप खुश हो जाओगे कि यार ये तो बहुत ही बढ़िया चीज़ है, राइट? कि अब 17% का एडिशनल और 16% एडिशनल रिटर्न्स. But on a 5-year basis, how much has the INR eroded by compared to SPX? Well, it has gone down quite dramatically. वो आप computation खुद कर लेना पिछले 5 साल का. So to cut the long story short, this 90% run up on SPX is better overall compared to 107-108% run up on Nifty. This is not adjusted for INR depreciation. Now, is this trend going to accelerate in the future? Yes, this is going to happen. This is already happening. In fact, now why is this happening? So उसके लिए आपको concept समझना पड़ेगा balance of trade deficit का. तो trade deficit simply means that we are importing more and exporting less. Okay. So which means that, so for example, we are buying 100 rupees का माल. So we are 100 rupees is going out and we are selling 80 rupees, right? So this is plus 80. इन दोनों का summation करोगे तो कितना है? -20. So every year we are losing 20 rupees out of India. So उससे होता क्या है? Well, we are running a trade deficit, right? And this becomes a problem for India. And this is going down, down and down. Now usually when the currency depreciates, then होना ये चाहिए कि हमारे exports बढ़ने चाहिए, because Indian market becomes cheaper for foreigners to come and buy stuff. But in Indian market, there should be something worth buying. Okay, so for example, just because XYZ brand from India is selling AirPods at 50 rupees, then people are not going to switch from AirPods from Apple. Okay, you have to provide like decent amount of quality in context of the price. So look around, tell me like which area is India competing in where our growth competitiveness from exports will come. We are losing a lot of textile game to Vietnam, Bangladesh. We have already lost a lot of business to China. There was a counter to China, make in India tha hamara, right? I mean, honestly, not much is happening. So therefore, anticipating that INR will weaken further, this is a very, very likely scenario. And whatever factoring you are doing, कि मेरा 12%, 13% run up बनेगा, all that stuff, you need to factor in INR depreciation also. Now, in case you guys are looking to invest in the US stocks, I will definitely recommend Vested. It's a very good platform for US stock investing. It's very well regulated. In case you want to check more details, I'm putting the link in the description and comment box. My team has written a note on how to invest via Vested, some FAQs, so you can read it and then make a more informed choice in terms of making investments. Okay, so then comes the next question that Akshat, you said that, okay, one, we can cut taxes. So is this going to happen? And लोग आजकल है ना मीम बनाने लगे हमारे फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर पे. I think that this is pretty much useless, right? I mean, it doesn't, the one person does not take like entire decisions. Okay, see, this is what finance minister had said last year, that I wish that India had almost nil taxes, but the issue is that we are dealing with a lot of challenges. Now, what those challenges are, I don't know. Okay, because everywhere mantris are saying we are living in Amrit Kal and next 5 years we'll beat like 2 Chinas or whatever. But see, this is not happening on ground. And again, if you actually read this, it kind of explains the sentiment that the finance minister wants to cut taxes, but it can't be done in the short term, right? That's how it is. In fact, they are going to increase the taxes. A new GST slab is most likely going to come, or शायद आ गई है. I'll have to double check that. So नई चीजें होती चली जा रही हैं, right? Where the taxation is going up. So taxation is not going anywhere. So this this cannot be an accelerant of growth in India. The accelerant of growth in India in the midterm would likely be interest rate cut, and this is going to help our market stay sideways. That's my analysis of it. ये होगा तो बहुत ज़्यादा डरने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, आप बने रहें. So then comes few of the final points that I want to explain. So point number one is that आप market में बने रहें. Please go through the sideways movement. It is very, very important. Number two, having some diversification outside India makes a lot of sense. Easiest way to diversify outside India is to invest in US stocks, and you can again check vested. I myself am building a lot of positions in the US market now. I'll give a lot of commentary regarding the same. US market is also overheated right now. Indian market is also overheated right now, but at least US market में वो US dollar depreciation वाली problem नहीं है. It is somewhat in a more bullish momentum. The reason being that Trump recently got elected, and in our case, our government has been in existence for the last 2 years. They are incumbents, and whatever policies they had to implement, they have already implemented it. Trump might do something new, so that newness is there, and therefore people are kind of riding a trend. So this is point two. Point three, more importantly, is that have some kind of hedging strategy. This is absolutely critical. Do not go around just winging it, right? Last 2-3 years were great कि आप लगाते चले जाओ, पैसा बढ़ता चला जाएगा. This is unlikely to happen. So therefore it is very, very important for you to understand sector rotation, segment rotation, how to trade channels in case you are trading, having some kind of cash hedging, and definitely do not overbuy. So I was hoping that I could discuss some stocks, but unfortunately I'll not be able to do this on this video. It has already gotten very long. So I'll make a part 2 of this video in case you guys like it. Do let me know what stocks you would like me to discuss. Then I will make some commentary on that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.